Hey guys, I'm back. It's been a minute, but we've got another book review for you today. And today we're talking about Daniel Goleman's revolutionary and groundbreaking book, Emotional Intelligence. Why it can matter more than IQ. So, first things first, what is emotional intelligence, or EQ? What is it exactly, and why is it so important? By definition, emotional intelligence is your ability to recognize, understand, and manage your own emotions, as well as recognize and understand the emotions of others or the people around you. Emotional intelligence has become such a huge aspect of our lives in today's society, in schools, and in the workplace. And why is that? Well, I think because now we have a much greater understanding of how emotions play a role in our own behaviors, in productivity, performance, in our relationships, and just about everything that you can think of that involves humans. And at the time when Daniel Goleman released this book in 1995, it was such a groundbreaking theory, that idea that emotions are more important than IQ, for example. And I think now there's no denying that fact, and we definitely understand how much emotions influence us and the people around us, and vice versa. So there's a much greater understanding there. So in the book, Daniel Goleman talks about 5 different aspects and components that basically make up EQ, or emotional intelligence. And that is self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. And let's start from the top. Self-awareness. What is self-awareness? What is it exactly? Self-awareness involves recognizing and understanding our emotions, strengths, weaknesses, values, and goals. It allows us to have a deeper understanding of ourselves and how our emotions impact our thoughts and behaviors. Now, what is self-regulation? Self-regulation refers to the ability to manage and regulate our own emotions, impulses, and behaviors. It involves being able to control our emotions and reactions in various situations, maintaining composure, and adapting to change effectively. So this is basically our own ability to manage and control our own emotions in just about any situation, environment, or circumstances. Now, motivation in the context of EQ, or emotional intelligence, is the ability to harness and channel our emotions in a positive way to achieve our goals. It involves using positive emotions like joy and excitement to motivate ourselves, persist through challenges, and maintain commitment to our goals. Next up is empathy. Empathy is the ability to recognize, understand, and share the emotions of others. It involves being aware of others' perspectives, showing compassion, and caring about their concerns. Empathy facilitates strong relationships, effective communication, and collaboration. And lastly is social skills. Social skills enable us to navigate social situations, build trust, and work effectively as part of a team. It's the ability to manage relationships and interact effectively with others. It basically involves handling difficult conversations, inspiring and motivating others, resolving conflicts, and building strong connections or relationships. So the next question you might be thinking about is, what's the deal with EQ? Why is it so important and better than IQ? Okay, so let me explain, and from my own perspective, I'll give you 5 aspects and areas within our lives that make EQ so important and better than IQ. So those 5 areas are in our personal well-being, in our relationships, in our work and job performance, decision making, and also that whole idea and concept that EQ can be learnt and improved upon over time. So let's look at personal well-being. Emotional intelligence can improve our personal well-being because it allows us to better manage and regulate our emotions more effectively. So basically, this allows us to better understand our emotions, ourselves, and it gives us this sense of control that we don't always have to be overly consumed and controlled by our emotions, And as a result, this can lead to better happiness, optimism, and life satisfaction. Next up is relationships. Emotional intelligence enhances our ability to navigate relationships successfully. It enables us to understand and empathize with others, communicate effectively, and resolve conflicts constructively. So basically, you can create more fulfilling and stronger relationships as a result. Emotional intelligence and work performance. Emotional intelligence is such an important aspect in the workplace. It helps us improve on how we manage stress, handle pressure, and adapt to change effectively. Emotional intelligence also improves our interpersonal skills, leadership abilities, and teamwork. And all of these can lead to better performance and career advancement. Emotional intelligence and decision making. Emotional intelligence plays such a big role in decision making because it helps us to consider and manage our own emotions, as well as understanding and considering the emotions of others and people around us. And this is not just in emotions, but also our behaviors, our tendencies, our biases. And by understanding these within ourselves and within others, we can make sure that we set up ourselves to be more informed in our decision making, and this can lead to better outcomes and better results. The last concept here is that EQ can be learned and improved upon. So IQ tends to be a little bit more fixed and very hard to change, whereas EQ, on the other hand, is something that we can actually improve upon and develop over time. It's a lifelong journey when it comes to emotional intelligence. You can look at each of the 5 elements that make up EQ and start working on them today. Some of these we've developed through our upbringing, lifestyle, habits, and it may be just due to circumstances. A lot of them we've developed through at a subconscious level without really putting much thought or without really thinking about it too much. But now with the way the ideas have been framed and presented, we can actually be a little bit more intentional in how we look at some of these aspects of emotional intelligence. We can now single out or focus on the areas that are going to be most important and most valuable to us, depending on our circumstances, our goals, our development, and just our own pursuits. So these are the 5 areas and aspects that I could think of that make emotional intelligence such an important and critical part of our everyday lives from a social perspective and from a personal level as well. So what happens if we don't look to develop and enhance our emotional intelligence? Well, we can look at some of those aspects we talked about earlier. Our personal well-being may take a hit, our relationships may suffer, job and work performance may decrease, our ability to make well and informed decisions may also suffer, and also conflict resolution. These are all areas and aspects that may suffer or decrease in terms of performance because we don't really take that time to develop and continuously work on emotional intelligence. So the other question is, how can we actually enhance and develop EQ? What are tools and practical ideas out there that we can actually put in place and make use of to make this whole process a lot smoother and a lot easier? So here's a list of some ideas. Practice self-awareness, manage your emotions, cultivate empathy, improve social skills, set goals and motivate yourself, seek feedback and learn from it, practice mindfulness, seek learning opportunities. The biggest takeaway here is to understand that this is going to be a lifelong journey. So be patient, be kind to yourself, and take that time to really understand yourself and the people around you and all these aspects of emotional intelligence. Well, that's it. That's Emotional Intelligence by Daniel Goleman. Why it can matter more than IQ. Now, there are so many aspects to emotional intelligence, and a lot of these I'm continuously working on and trying to develop every single day. For those of you who haven't read the book, there are so many good examples and cases of emotions at work. A lot of them brought back memories and ideas that I never really thought about at the time. Anyways, if you were able to make it this far, thank you. I appreciate you. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace. It's a wrap.